Oh yeah, we did ask this question at the game. All right, Creeper donated $11. Can you at least review the early game rotation for Game 4? Yes, we will do that. Okay. We'll do that immediately because you'll love this pop-in.
I haven't seen this.
It is super good. So we're going to do that because I really like this.
So this is an indulgent VOD review now.
Well, isn't it always?
With you, definitely.
Exactly. So this is I referred to this earlier when we were VOD reviewing,
Ooh, Tristana.
Right? Yup. But let's take a look at this.
You won't be saying that for very long.
Yeah, you will not be.
Did he rocket jump fail a lot?
So let's talk about this early game. So we see. So the first like 3 or 4 minutes of this game are worth watching. Everything else is just a steamroll. But they're going to invade. They're going to get the deep wards in.
Yep.
They want to dodge the Ezreal Karma lane with Tristana Braum. So they're going to put the ward down.
Do you want to dodge the
Yes.
Ezreal Karma
You're going to
lane?
get poked to shit. Yes.
Okay.
I saw this game.
I mean, Ezreal Karma is pretty obnoxious.
I know what happens in this
Especially
matchup
at level
now.
1, it's super obnoxious.
So, a couple wards go down.
They still have 1 ward available on Faker.
Right, so everybody just gathers in the mid lane right now.
Oh, Faker got Rise.
Yep. Oh, they got Rise Maokai on red side. There was a first pick Azir on blue side. Yep, that's the face you should be making.
Okay.
And Kindred.
Well, Kindred was actually...
Kindred fell through the previous game completely. So.
Yep.
Just on top of those two.
Man, they're so good at checking brushes. Level 1.
Just wait till you see the way that SKT plays this lane swap, because it's really good. So, let's talk about this real quick.
I'm listening.
So there's a ward right here that was placed earlier. There's a ward right here.
Yeah,
so they know there's a red buff available, right? So SKT makes the very unorthodox choice of starting weak side enemy jungle, which you never see, ever.
Never. Nope.
This is very risky.
It's cheesy.
It is cheesy. But because they know that... Okay, we have to go back to this point.
They know where the enemy has vision.
So, no. Just wait for it, because it's actually much smarter than that. So Blank sees the invade coming in at 45 seconds.
Yes.
He knows they're putting wards down.
And he knows roughly where they are.
And look at this. Here's Rise and Karma and Ezreal. They do a delayed invade.
Yes.
So here we go. Wards down at 1 minute.
There cannot be any wards where they are.
There cannot be any wards
well,
where they are.
Azir could have put one down.
They saw it in mid.
Okay, that's true.
So there cannot be any wards. Plus, they're 20 seconds later, 25 seconds later on the wards.
Yeah, 110.
So these wards will be down later than these wards.
Yeah.
These wards are designed to find a laner going to lane.
And Blank.
These wards are designed to find a jungler. Blank is even later on his ward.
And now they have complete vision of the paths.
Yep, complete vision of the path to red buff. So they intentionally swap into this side. Worst case scenario. So let's talk about this. SKT. Worst case scenario for SKT, they start weak side jungle. Great. Standard lane swap in that case, if they get their dual lane the top side. Because this is a specific strategy designed for early deep wards, which SKT has not faced because Korean teams did not do this during the regular season.
Because the risk reward of early wards went way down after the trinket changes.
But props to SK Telecom for finding a delayed warding strategy in a lane swap where they could actually get deep wards in 10 to 20 seconds later, and they have a choice because they don't have to commit. So they intentionally move their dual lane into the top side.
In vision.
In vision. They don't care about that. No. SKT does not care about that. They care about these delayed wards that they got in. Because worst case scenario, if Royal is doing standard lanes, their jungler will start over here.
Yeah.
And they just back off and do this.
Yeah, they can still start weak side.
So if they're in a lane swap, if Royal's in a lane swap, they will default start weak side, and they get a free red buff and a free triple buff. And they're going to know because they have the right wards.
Man, they're going to get both camps too.
Yeah.
That's dirty.
Right? It's pretty fucking good, right? When I was watching this game, I was like, ooh.
Were your lane swap senses
I was like-
tingling?
Wow, that's really smart.
His keys got really sticky.
Yeah, my keys got sticky after that. It gets better though.
Does it?
Yeah, it gets
Are
better.
you sure?
I know. I'm like a lane.
It's pretty good right now.
I'm a lane swap enthusiast, and like I was pretty happy about this.
That's better than your last enthusiast title.
A Korean fellatio enthusiast.
Yeah. These are both your interests coming into a
Yeah,
sweet crescendo.
I know. It's incredible.
Hence the sticky keys.
Korean fellatio lane swap enthusiast. Thank you for sticky keying my keyboard. So and it's even worse. So if Royal, the extra damage to this is that you know that Royal is going to do 2 camps on that side as part of a standard clear, and then go for
The Raptors.
the Raptors or the red buff. So they go to Raptors, and then they're
Wait.
just like super sad.
You could understand like an adaptation of the lane swap could be the small Raptors into your blue buff, so it doesn't mean your red is gone.
Yep. But
Then
this
it-
is just
then you're
like
oh,
ultra disappointment because this is not the jungle path that you want to take. But it gets better.
the,
It get-
the lollipop
Papa Smithy,
girl and the
Papa Smithy.
the beach man are very sad.
It gets fucking better. You ready?
Does it though?
Yeah. They recall on third wave. Who the fuck does this? So you guys know, third wave, the first cannon wave, is where you push the lane into the turret for the lane swap. So at this point, because they lane swap, it's such a fucking brilliant lane swap. So because they Royal lane swapped and they took advantage of them in the jungle off of their standard pathing, because of this only happens, by the way, because Royal warded one side of the jungle. So this doesn't happen otherwise. But because they did that and now they have the knowledge, instead of pushing the cannon minion wave, they're going to just recall and walk back into lane. And effectively, what this is going to do is going to allow SKT to start here, move to here, and then move to here. And basically, it's going to starve out the jungle, and it's going to give them the ridiculous poke matchup that they wanted in the first place.
Yeah, the quickest reaction they can try and get. He's got smite though for the secure.
Yep, so no problem. Mata actually is smart to walk in there right now. He's actually very smart to walk in there, but unfortunately he can't do anything about it.
Thanks being a bit greedy taking that camp. It doesn't need to.
No, he doesn't need to. Also, the early shop here is pretty clutch from Bang too, because he's basically going to hold Tristan in lane for a super long time right now. And they're not going to lose, really. They're going to lose a couple CS off of this, and that's it. And then they TP into topside.
Level 1.
Yeah, why not? I mean, Looper TP'd.
Yeah.
It's the right play.
And now RNG doesn't even have a way to push a lane after realizing their jungle has been stolen.
So MLG has to take Scuttle Crab at this point, and then walk back into his wrecked bottom side
And now
jungle.
the minion wave's in a bad spot too.
It's just absolutely awful for Royal at this point in time.
So I guess we're going into game 4 then?
No, we're gonna stop here. It's just the lane swap is super good. It's so clever.
Well, it's nice that it's different, right? It's been a pretty surreal world for lane swaps because obviously, especially EU LCS was the same lane swap game after game, and everyone's like, the lane swaps suck. And like, I can kind of understand that, but compare that to Korea where we have different lane swaps, and then so we have a freak of freaks that like go to standard lanes, then get BF sword lane swap to top so they can get Rift Herald and take 2 turrets, while the enemy team will just shop and go back to bot. Then we have the LCK final with no lane swaps. I believe it's standard lanes every game.
Yeah.
And now we have like creative lane swaps. So
This is super creative, though.
Yeah.
And this is the
to be fair, they've had 2 creative level 1s in terms of like
Yeah, but this is SKT's adaptation to the actual tournament itself and what they're seeing, because they never had to deal with these deep wards in Korea. So now not only are they deep warding themselves, but they have a counter strat to lane swap deep warding that's very specific.
And this is
So-
why I said during when we were watching them lose,
Yeah.
VOD reviewing the 4 losses, I was like, if they had a week off like they did at Worlds, where
Yeah.
it was 3 matches, then a break, then 3 matches, I know that SKT would come back. They still did, and this is the team you see after a few days. And it's why I said 3-1 is that this team's preparation has always been world standard when they have games to review on the current patch. Their one weakness is when they don't have that, sometimes they're just wrong with their bets.
Yeah.
Like Coma's refinement has been excellent, but the innovation recently has been a bit lackluster. But the reaction in this case is innovation, and it's really impressive.
Straight up took the blue.
So somebody